Okay, welcome to part 2. So in the last part I said that I was going to try painting some Loctite in here to secure the, oh boy, that's not good. I think I just lost my E-clip. I was going to paint some Loctite in here to secure this this pinion gear to this gear here, which I did, and it seems like it's worked pretty well. I don't think that's going to come loose, so I'm glad I didn't have to epoxy that. This piece here I drilled out. It did not work quite so well because I made the mistake of clipping these pieces here with wire cutters before I drilled, and that made the plastic crack. So if I did it again, I would just drill straight with a 1/4-inch drill bit and not try to clip the plastic. And I may need to get another one of these because this might not last a lot longer. I think I need to do it a little more cleanly with this. So anyways, again, this was a pulley from a Honeybee King 3. And once I drilled that out, I lined up where these screws would show up on this gear right in here. And I used a Dremel tool to grind these spots right here down so that these pieces could sit down inside. Next I drilled some holes in there to line up with the screw holes, and I had to grind this down out here a little bit with the Dremel tool, bring it down a little bit, and then also grind some of the teeth off so that this would fit flush onto the gear. I think I'm going to have to, on my next one, I'm going to have to grind this down a little bit closer right where it meets, because the grinder doesn't get right into the right angle there. I have a smaller tool with the Dremel tool that I can use to get that down so that this will fit over without sort of, you know, hitting a limit toward the end. So if I put this on here and line it up with the holes, it sort of snaps down in almost. I can screw it in. Okay, so here's this finished product. Fits pretty flush to there. You can see a slight warp to the gear. Now again, I think that's because I didn't file down some of the places enough. For instance, you can see right in here, it's not fitting quite so flush. So I think that that's causing the warping of the main gear here a little bit. So I need to when I do it over with this gear, I have to really make sure I get into that right angle and take down the circumference of this, or the diameter of this inner gear, all the way down to where it meets the other gear. Alright, so there's that. And then I've got this part. So let's see, I think in the last part I said that these plastic pegs would line up right with where it's supposed to be, but when I did it again, I ended up with maybe moving them a little bit more toward the main shaft. It didn't come out perfect. You can see these are not exactly across from each other, but they both work just fine. I ended up having to grind down, you can see it right there, the edge of the main body here to give these room to turn, be able to pull them up high enough so that they wouldn't hit the main gear, the bottom of the screw here. These gears right here I just chose, I think I'm going to get a piece of maybe antenna tube to go in there. This piece right here, this the holder for the or the mount rather for the pulleys, has a 3mm inside diameter, whereas the screw is 2mm. So this gear sort of fits there perfectly. But again, I think I want to get rid of that and use little pieces of antenna tube in there instead, so that doesn't slop around the screw. And then I put these screws in here to keep this from moving back, but I really actually don't think I really need them. I'm going to leave them in for now though. I also had to sand down let's see, this right in here, the servo holder, because it sticks out a little bit from the main body on this side. So to get this pulley really in flush, as close to this as possible, I had to sand that down a little bit. And if I put it all together, okay, so I've got it all together now. I can play with belt tension by changing the length of the tube here by adjusting these screws. It seems to. I had it put together better before. Yeah, so there's an issue going on here with this screw. Let me see if I can tighten that. It's a little bit better. So I need to do this gear over again, because this gear is a little bit warped. When I apply proper tension so that the tail doesn't skip, it's got some resistance to it. I can see why they use belt pulley systems primarily with larger helicopters, where a little bit of loss in power is okay. But it does work quite smoothly. So I'm still gonna I'm gonna go ahead and try this out. It seems to work pretty well up here, and when I turn it, the back and tail gives me this. So so far so good. Once I finish that new gear, once I finish doing the modification in this gear, maybe get a new pulley, I'm not sure, new main pulley here, I'll put it back together and start really assembling the helicopter with the servo mounted on these and so on. Okay, next time.